Good morning and welcome back to White Mountain Today here on White Mountain TV 16. Joining us right here in the studio is Chris Meyer, and we're going to talk about the Mount Washington Valley Rec Path. How are you today, Chris?
I'm good. Thanks for having me on. And I am president of the Mount Washington Valley Trails Association, which is an organization that does trails throughout the Mount Washington Valley. But when we were looking at our trail network here, what we were missing was a entry-level graded paved path that kind of brought the whole network together, and that's what this project is really all about. Yeah. It's a backbone for the network of trails across the. We have mountain bike trails, we have hiking trails, we have running trails, but what we don't have is this paved, graded entry-level path. So that's what we're doing here.
And I think it's great you refer to it as a backbone because it really is. It's the initial piece will be it's 2.8 miles. Am I correct?
Correct. So
2.8 miles. And then everything just kind of goes off from that. So
right. So that's the idea of it. You can have it as a standalone project or a standalone activity. You can ride back and forth on that 2.8 miles, and there's 3 points along that trail that get off onto the larger trail network. Yep. So if you wanted to park in one place from the rec path and take it to access the mountain bike trails, you can do that as well. Or you can have some members of your family ride the rec path and some go off onto the mountain bike trails if that's what they want to do. But the route is from Cranmore, is the northern terminus of it, and there's parking up there. It runs essentially along the north-south road or to the east of the north-south road down to the back of Walmart. There's a existing trail access off of Hemlock Lane behind Walmart, and that's the southern terminus of the rec path. So that's essentially where it would run. It runs along Puddin Pond, so there's some scenic views looking over the Green Mountains. It'll be between the north-south road and that. So you can see it from the north-south road, so visitors can see, oh, that might be a good thing to do today. But you're also tucked away behind the berm there, looking over Pudding Pond. So it's a good balance. You can get into town from all along the trail. Yeah. But you also feel like you're out in nature if you look to the east.
Yeah, and it's just in the design and the layout, where it sits is great. And the one of the great things is it can expand. Right. It can be that backbone, but it can also be the start of numerous trails and connecting, over to Portland, can connect up to the north.
Yep. So there's another path that looks similar to this path down in Freiburg. If we once we do this segment, we'll look at other segments that we can do to provide more connectivity with other trails in town and around the area.
Yeah, that'll be great.
It will be great.
Now, how can people either get involved or just find out more information about it?
So that's one of the great things about this project. It's been very community based, and we've had a lot of community buy-in to this project. We have some great sponsors. We have the Eastern Slope Inn next door. That's really our anchor business sponsor. We've got White Mountain Oil, we've got Cooper Cargill Chant, we've got the White Mountain Hotel, all really coming in and leading the effort. But from businesses down to individuals, there's all sorts of different ways to participate. We had the event the other night down at Tuckerman's Brewery. They hosted an event for us that had Boston Pizza, or Brothers Pizza from down in Conway, providing pizza for us. You can come to one of our events, you can donate, or serve on one of our committees. We have an outreach committee, we have a fundraising committee, and we have a development committee that are all working together to put this path in. The other thing is, if you're a resident of Conway, we are up on the warrant for this April. Yep. The town voters of Conway have to approve this project because we're working with the town to get it done. And essentially that's to allow the federal grant funds to come into Conway. We've already been awarded the federal grant, which is a congestion mitigation grant that provides us the bulk of the funding for the project. It's a $2.3 million project. The grant gives us $1.2 million. But the Conway voters need to approve that money coming into town. It doesn't mean that the Conway voters will be funding any part of this project.
No cost to Conway voters.
Correct. This is a pass-through warrant article. It means we're just accepting money from outside sources. to get it done. But if you're a Conway voter, that's a way you can come out and support the
And
project.
so help. And a lot of these type of like pass-through warrant articles happen all the time. So it's nothing that anybody should be afraid of. But exactly that, the money is there. It just has to say, okay, look, we're approving this, and at no cost to the residents of Conway.
Correct.
And so, as you said, there's a lot of fundraising efforts to help raise some of the extra money that's going to be needed for it, and just some great events that are going on. You've got a great website too, and if you don't know what the MWV Rec Path is, go onto the website
and it's
find out.
MWVRecPath.org is how to get there. So it's easy to find on the web. There's ways to donate and get involved on the website. So check that out. You can call it. We're working with the Mount Washington Valley Chamber of Commerce as a partner on this project. You can call them to get information as well. Their telephone number is 603-356-5701, and Michelle at the chamber can help you out and direct you in the right location to help out in any way you want to.
Yeah, and this is one of those interesting things that last fall, I mean, we've been talking about rec paths for years up here in the Mount Washington Valley.
Back to the 1980s.
Yeah, and so there's all these different ideas that have kind of bounced around, and so some people, there's confusion of, well, where's this rec path going? I know where this one was and this one. So the best thing is to find out that information. When I found out all the information last fall, I'm like, wow, and it was, what was great is that when I was finding out the information, it wasn't like, well, we kind of want to go here. I mean, it's very well spelled out, very well worked out. And I think that's one of the big features about it, that it's not just, well, we hope to do this. No, these are plans that are so well thought out. The areas that they're going through, it's perfect. It really is a perfect situation right now.
We've been kicking this idea around for years. And we've looked at a number of different locations to have the project, and one of the benefits of having the community involved, we had 5 or 6 community events where we had community input into what the path should be, where the path should be, and what the path should be about. And this was the location that really gelled in terms of all the community supported it in this location.
Right.
That's where we are. We moved, we were in the rail corridor at one point. We had a connection through Whitaker at one point. This is not that. What we are is in the Conway bypass corridor.
Yeah.
New Hampshire Department of Transportation has said that that's a place we can locate. It doesn't matter whether the bypass happens or not. We could either co-locate or use that corridor by ourselves. So whatever happens with that, we'll be in the Conway bypass corridor, and it really runs that route from Cranmore down between the north-south and the railroad tracks down to the back of Walmart, and it provides both of the the accessibility to town and the experience that you want riding a bike or rollerblading or
walking
walking
and plus there's going to be a lot of opportunities for other activities, whether it's nature activities that might go along the path, art installations or whatever it might be along the path. So it's not just a path for someone to ride a bike on. It really could be a community path and a connection path, and so many opportunities that come from this Mount Washington Valley rec path.
And it's an alternative transportation path. If you want to commute on it, it connects the southern part of town with the northern part of town. It's a way to get around. We have 2 roads that take you north-south. This is a way to be away from traffic.
Right.
And ride your bike or do whatever activity you want to get north and south in town.
Yeah, that'll be great. There's a couple bridges that are going to be there, which add to the fun. I think going over
bridges
that.
across the top of Puddin Pond. There's a nice beaver dam up there that you can see, and we've got a whole design committee looking into how to make this a fun trail.
Yeah, and I've been fortunate enough to go on some different trails, and a smooth, organized, I won't even say efficient trail is so much fun to ride on. I've done that on bikes, and it's so much fun to be able to do that, like you say, away from traffic, in the middle of nature, and just enjoying it.
People know what they're going to get.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, Chris, thanks so much for coming by today.
Absolutely.
And if people want some more information, there is the website, MWVRecPath.org. Check out the chamber. Give them a call, Michelle, and probably run into any of the committee members, and you can find out a lot of information about this.
We'll tell you more than you want to know about rec paths and trails.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Well, thanks again for coming by, and we'll be back here in a minute on White Mountains Today.